Hi, Aries. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for December 2019. For you, Aries, this month you were going to see a lot of activity in your career house, particularly slow-moving planets, but also some fast-moving planets coming in there and giving you a boost in that area. Julia, what are your thoughts about Mercury, Venus, and Mars activity for Aries this month?
All right. Well, hey, Aries. So, yeah, just as Jamie was saying, there is some emphasis on the 10th house of career, and Venus, which is the relationship planet, when it governs romantic relationships, but relationships of all kinds, starts in your 10th house at the beginning of the month. So, when Venus is going through the 10th house, it's a really good time for getting along with work colleagues. Sometimes people can even get a bit of a crush at the workplace, either on a colleague or maybe a client. So be, a bit wary of that. But then Venus, when she goes into Aquarius, is going to be entering your 11th house of groups on December 19th. And during that time, Venus really wants to socialize with a huge group of people versus just kind of one-to-one partnership style socializing. So if you're already in a relationship, you might want to enjoy your partner out with your greater circle of friends. Or if you're single, I've noticed it can be a really good time to meet new people on social networks, like through online dating and things like that. And then Mars, the planet of energy and activity, is going to remain in the sign of Scorpio all month, and that corresponds with your 8th house. The 8th house is a house of deep intimacy. It's a house of shared resources. So when Mars is in this sign, it can create sort of like a powerful physical urge for sexual intimacy, which can be pretty fun. But Mars is also a little bit feisty too, so you might notice that you're having maybe more arguments about shared money too, whether that's debts or inheritances, just kind of shared resources of all kinds. Then Mercury, the planet of thinking, the planet of strategy, the planet of communication, starts in your 9th house at the beginning of the month, and it's there until December 9th. So that's a very good time for just expanding your thoughts and your communications in some way. The 9th house also corresponds with higher education, so you don't necessarily have to go back to school to always want to expand and learn something new. So that could be a good time for taking a class or just anything that just opens up your worldview at all. And then after the 9th, Mercury is going to enter the 10th house again, where your sort of your thoughts, your communications, and all of your strategies are going to take place in the career arena. What's going on for you this month, Jamie?
There's that Mercury hopping right over the line just at the end of the month, and wow, that's quite a pile of Capricorn that 10th house ends up with. Definitely worth waiting for, and it kind of forms a good bookend with the fact that Jupiter is entering Capricorn at the beginning of the month, right there on December 2nd. And this is kind of a long-awaited event because Jupiter changes signs only once a year. And so right there it is. Hello, Jupiter, entering the career realm. And for you, Aries, this is a sort of doubly the career realm because Capricorn is all about career to begin with, but that's also your 10th house. So you're probably going to be entering into a period of some luck and opportunity in your career this year. And what could be better than that? It's a great time for growth and expansion. And this month is really just the beginning. Sometime in the next few months, especially if you have Aries rising, Jupiter is going to speed along and get into your 10th house. It might be worth getting a reading actually specifically just to find out when it's going to enter your 10th house, because that is going to be a particularly lucky time to like ask for a raise or a promotion or get a better, job description, something like that. And Julia's doing readings about it this month, so you should check that out. So sort of building on that, we have got a full moon in Gemini coming on December 11th, right here. And it spans your 9th and 3rd houses. The moon, of course, especially when it's full, tends to bring a lot of emotions. But in Gemini, a bit of a dilemma there because all of those emotions want to be expressed in an intellectual way. So it's a very talkative moon, but not necessarily the most empathetic moon. Now, fortunately, that's balanced by Neptune being here in your 12th house of dreams. So that's going to really awaken your imagination. But you might find that under this moon, you have a decided tendency to overthink it, um, and to worry a bit too much about things that seem like they're, like a hamster in a wheel, running, 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 and not getting anywhere. So don't let that mood overtake you around this full moon, which means for about the 3 days surrounding December 11th. A little later in the month, we have a new moon and the final one of this year's eclipses, and that's coming, ta-da, Christmas. So those folks who celebrate Christmas are going to find that it's fairly intense this year, and
Eclipse.
yeah, Eclipse, what do you know? And so here it is, and really this chart is just showing the moon at the end of Sagittarius, the sun in early Capricorn, and here it is hopping right over the sun, so it's over here in Capricorn. So we've got some fairly intense eclipse energy, which is also a new moon, so it has to do with planting seeds. But really, my main approach to eclipses is that they show us our shadow. And this particular eclipse falling in your career house could be showing you your shadow in that arena. So that's something to think about, and to consider. And I would definitely, if I were you, I would check out the news video on our December playlist to do with that new moon and solar eclipse, because that will sort of fill in some of the details for you. Um, Gosh, I think maybe that's all I wanted to say. Look at that big pile of Capricorn that's there as the month comes to an end. Be really good to your family members, and pay attention to stuff that you're not aware of yourself about in your career, and try to bring those two arenas into balance. It probably won't be easy, but it should be illuminating. I think that's all we've got for you today, Aries. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye.